one of the greatest things about the open web is the ability to get at material that was once difficult, if not impossible, to get to. And an example, so now I'm getting into trade resources based on whatever the industry or the topic is that you're interested in, because very likely there are companies doing this work, and there are newsletters and trade magazines, trade websites that provide some or all of their content available on the open web. So one example, and I mean, there's no limit to this, but one industry insight, one industry that I wanted to note is, this is Cushman & Wakefield. It is a large real estate company. And you can see they are providing all sorts of market insights on a variety of topics free. So everything from an industrial construction report and map to a real estate market review of Georgia. You name the issue involving especially commercial real estate, and it's very likely that they are doing some type of insight on it. And this is a type of material that was very difficult, if not impossible, to get to years ago, if it existed in the first place. So for example, there's that Georgia review. Here's a Romania real estate market review. So my comment here is that whatever the topics that you cover, dive as deeply as possible. Look for the organizations that might be providing this type of research. In some cases, it might not be a commercial entity like Cushman & Wakefield, but it might be an institute from a university or from a think tank. One that quickly comes to mind is this Food Policy Research Institute, I believe at the City University of New York, one of the New York universities. In other words, there are people who are already doing the curation at some degree and can add a lot of value and save you a lot of time, not only in identifying the material, but also, you know, these are subject experts. Often is the case that there are subject experts, and they're helping you decide and to realize that this material is coming from credible sources. So this is just one example, is the Cushman & Wakefield insights. Here is another example from IHT Market, which is a large market research and analysis firm, but they put together and they make some of this. This is their Net Zero Business Daily News, and they make all of this material available at no charge. It's another example. And then of course, you've got newsletters, and I spend a lot of time using newsletters and reviewing them. One company that does a lot of good work in this area is based here in Washington. It is called Smart Brief. And they've got newsletters on just about every topic under the sun. Now, again, caveat, I'm telling you this, sometimes, most often, these newsletters are sponsored, for example, by a trade association. So knowing that from the outset gives you a good idea that then they might not always be putting in quote unquote negative news. So if you understand that, you can go elsewhere for that. But I also use these. So let's pick a topic area, pick aerospace. Here, for example, is from the Aerospace Industries Association. Their newsletter, you can get a sample of it. So I not only use this for the newsletters on topics I'm following or personally interested in, but I'm also using this to discover other sources. What are credible sources in aviation, in aeronautics, in aerospace? So I can look here, I get a link and a little brief about the article, and then I get a direct link to the source article that the annotation is coming from. So again, you can use this to help you along the way, to help discover articles, but also to help you discover sources that might be of interest to you or those that you're working at.